Well, good evening there, handball fans, and welcome to coverage of Aalborg Handball versus Aalborg-Berlin. It's time for the quarterfinals, second leg in the Machine Seeker EHF Champions League. 4 games over the course of 2 evenings, and we begin here in Denmark. Chris O'Reilly here with you as we see if Aalborg can pull off a miracle comeback and overcome an 8-goal deficit from last week's first leg. A first leg inspired by a golden performance from Matthias Gietzel. There are the Aalborg boys on the way in, and both sides will know that comebacks in the quarterfinal second leg are not really irregularities, but they're definitely possible. Berlin will take nothing for granted and only need to look back to the last time they won a Champions League quarterfinal to understand what's possible, losing by 11 goals against Aalborg-Berlin back in 2012 before winning the second leg by 11 and progressing to their first EHF Final Four. And of course, we all remember last season's quarterfinal as Kiel losing the first leg in Montpellier 39-30 to then turn it around and win by 10 at home in the second leg. So we have precedence here. We know it's possible, and Aalborg will be shocked that they're even in this position. They think back to the position they were in midway through the first half last week. 6 goals to the good. After that, then a 14-goal turnaround gave Aalborg-Berlin all the advantage they could possibly have dreamed of heading into this second leg. And there you can see Matthias Gietzel and Lasse Andersen, so getting a lot of love there, Andersen and Gietzel. But they will, of course, be in a rare role of the villains in Denmark, playing as the away side. I'm sure they will relish the occasion nevertheless. This is how the road to the Trucksky 24 EHF Final Four looks. The road to Cologne. This is the first of 4 matches. Later on this evening, then Sporting versus Nantes, with Nantes holding a 1-goal advantage. Then on Thursday evening, West Bremen Magdeburg all square after the first leg. Barca at home against Szeged with a 3-goal advantage in the other game, where there's one side with a major advantage heading into the second leg. Aalborg may take a little bit of inspiration from their fellow Danish side in the Women's EHF Champions League, as both Esbjerg and Odense came from an unfavourable situation after the first leg to book their spot in the EHF Final Four game. Of course, this a much trickier situation nevertheless, but they do have a very good record at home in the Champions League quarterfinals. Aalborg, they've won all 3 of their home contests, the most of which though was a 5-goal victory over another German side, Flensburg-Handewitt, back in 2021. Aalborg beating West Bremen in the quarterfinal last year to book a spot at the EHF Final Four, where they got to the final against Barca and just fell short. You all remember that Miguel Hansen shot at the buzzer, clipping the post and staying out, ensuring that he would end his career without a Champions League title. And that is a fate that Matthias Gietzel will be hoping to avoid as early as possible in his career. This feeling like his first major chance of getting to an EHF Final Four, and he will be doing it away in Denmark. What a perfect setting for this storybook career he's been developing so far. He was phenomenal in the first leg of the second half. 11 goals and 9 assists in total for him, leading Berlin to that 37-29. Thomas Arnoldson was absent for Aalborg in that first leg. He is back in the squad today, which is a major boost. He's their top scorer in the competition this season. As you hear the Aalborg players make their way onto the court through a rapturous cheer from the home crowd, always in full house at the Spartakussen Denmark Arena in Aalborg. It has become a bit of a cauldron, and that's exactly what they're trying to signify with the flames in the LED in the background as well, and the real flames coming out of the side of the court. Brilliant response for the home side, despite that loss last week. They know that they need the crowd fully behind them, and the crowd giving them all they can before the game even begins. We have two sets of teams ready to go. That'll be the introduction for Nicholas Landin and the Aalborg side before we head into this match. I mentioned the return of Thomas Arnoldson after missing in the first leg, and according to Berlin coach Jaren Sievert, he says that Arnoldson will make their play and attack more livelier and more dangerous. There he is. Big response for him, making his way back. It is a big boost in an attack which at times was looking fantastic and free-flowing, but in the second half truly were overpowered by the Berlin defense. Jaren Sievert also saying that we're not playing in the second leg to manage our lead, but we're going out there to win the game, which seems like a positive approach that they need to have in a situation like this, the first Champions League quarterfinal for this generation of Berlin players. Now that is one area, and maybe a little bit of an advantage to Aalborg. They know how to navigate this stage of the competition. Berlin not short on international experience though. You feel like that may be balanced out as well. The goalkeeper area will be a fascinating aspect to look at. And one side, Berlin, see the magnificent play of Dan Miller-Sablem in the second half, and Lasse Ludwig at the end of the first half. But it's not always guaranteed for them. They need at least one of them to pull off a good performance today if they are going to defend that lead. Well, before we talk more about that and dive into the game head first, it's time for the anthem. There you have it. Only final high fives and handshakes between the two sides before we get this contest underway. 60 more minutes of handball to decide which of these two will book a spot at the Truck Scout 24 EHF final for the first team to do it. Here is the Aalborg squad I mentioned. Thomas Arnoldson is back. Besides that, no change really for this squad. It's Christian Bjornsson, the only right-wing option. Bartol started on the left wing last week. They need a bigger performance from the line players, in particular Simon Hell and Felix Muller. Alex Flach, a little bit quiet in the match as well. Sandra Saugesen, a bit of a hit and miss performance. Mats Hoxer was brilliant on his return. More of that needed today. As for Füchse Berlin, no real change for them. There were red cards last week for Fabian Vida right at the end and Mihailo Marsenic early in the second half, both in the squad again today. Tim Freihofer and Håkon Vestov Teicham were really clutch on the wings when things were packing in the backcourt for Berlin. They'll see if they can do that again. It would help book a spot and a train ticket towards Cologne in mid-June. Jaren Sievert, I mentioned his quotes in pre-match, going out with a winning mentality for this one. They know it will be a bumpy ride in this game. Macedonian referees for today: Slava Nikolov, Georgi Nenchevsky, ready to get this contest underway at Sparkassen Denmark Arena in Aalborg. Full house, of course, it always is for the big Champions League occasions, and they don't get much bigger than this for a side on home court. Looks like it's going to be Aalborg to get us underway here in their home kit, red and white. It's Berlin, their special Champions League kit, the old dark kit. Once again, defending on the right-hand side, Sebastian Bartol does indeed start on the left wing. Felix Muller in from the start, as is Thomas Arnoldson. So a few changes here compared to last week's team. Nicholas Landin getting the nod in between the posts from the beginning. If there was ever a time for him to come up with another majestic performance, it is tonight. He's definitely a player. And no real surprise see that then Milosavljev started with the posts for Berlin. Chris O'Reilly here with you for this one. See what kind of tempo and pace Aalborg try to build up as they try to hunt down this 8-goal deficit. Fla out to Hoxer, waiting the left-hand side. Thomas Arnoldson, Muller moving a lot there on the line, trying to create space for himself and his teammates, and that early shot saved, carried away by Milosavljev. Strong start for the Serbian keeper and for the away side. Keeps it cutting inside. Lichtlein throws that to nobody, picked up with a loose ball by Landin. Hoxer into Muller, great take, and that has to be a goal. It is indeed. Felix Muller opens the scoring for Aalborg. Great counter-attacking. What a pass inside that was from Hoxer. Caught by one hand. Very confident stuff from the Swedish line player. Showing a bit of repayment already in the faith shown in him. And then coach Simon Dale on the line. Danish heroes turned villains for the night. Anderson and Kiesel side by side in the backcourt alongside Lichtlein. Lichtlein cutting inside. Oh, Kiesel going the long way around and trying a move that he was so successful with time and time again in the first leg, going the long way around back into that right back position, spinning the ball past the keeper more often than not. This time a sidearm shot beats the keeper. Such an array of shots at his disposal. Here's Kiesel scoring his side level as the ball thrown away there by Hoxer. Shaky start there from Aalborg in 2 of their 3 attacks. One shot which was not quite up to scratch, and this time giving the ball away. It's really a feeling from the start here. The home side can ill afford to make any mistakes. They're trying to come back from so far behind. Berlin, same measure, know that their opposition can be very dangerous. They were trailing them by 6 goals in the first half, remember, before turning things around as Lichtlein goes down under a bit of duress from Simon Held. Let's see how that transpired. There wasn't really much in that, was there? Oh yeah, the second time around. Caught him on the head with that flailing right arm. Lichtlein getting just a little bit of encouragement to get up again, nothing else. No 2-minute suspension from the referees at this stage. Anderson coming in on the empty switch, waiting for it from Kiesel. Ball is set to Lichtlein on the left-hand side. Beautiful finish there, across the face of goal into the top corner. Landin setting his sights down low and keeping that near post blocked, but nothing he can do about the shot in the end. Reasserts of Berlin into their first lead as Hoxer getting up a bit gingerly there. At the first hit and then landed, yeah, on the small of his back, quite awkwardly. Still on, another bother on him. Let's come into the center here. Fla. Alex Fla to Arnoldson. Trying to find their flow here. Hoxer. Fla out to the wing. Not a lot of space there, but full of confidence in his shooting. Sebastian Barthold felt that even with a tight angle like that, he had to back himself to take on the shot. The backcourt struggling to create space for themselves. Sebastian Barthold doing what he needs to do. Mentioned how important the wingers were for Berlin last week. Håkon Vestad Taigam coming in here from the right wing. Tim Freihofer scoring a plethora of goals between them. Here is Vestad Taigam coming in. Sneaking in behind the defense a little bit there. Kiesel giving himself up. A bit of a decoy, and that worked beautifully. Creating the space for Vestad Taigam. Berlin knows this one again. Same move as last time from Aalborg, this time with a bit more speed coming in from Arnoldson. Nice ball out to Hoxer, out to the right wing this time, and put away by Christian Bjornsson. The Norwegian duo on the wings. goal so far. Nice movement off the ball there by Lasse Andersson, catching the Aalborg defense sleeping. It's a goal each for the Danes in the Fuchs side. Hawks are held up by Max Dari in defense. That was great play. Coming in on the blind side, catching the defense off guard. By the time they realized he was there was no stopping him. Lasse Andersson with over 100 goals in this season's competition. Second top scorer in the Berlin side behind Gietzel. Oxer. Muller again moving on the line, trying to create some space for his teammates. That's an awkward shot, well defended by Andersson. Comfortable stop in the end for Milosavljev. Gietzel looking at his options on the line, lays it off to Andersson instead. Linked line. Gietzel through all alone, and easy pickings for the World Player of the Year. It's the kind of defending that Aalborg simply cannot afford to get away with today. This ball into the line. Bjornsson coming in, but he was inside the area, according to the referee, standing on the 6-meter line. See, so just dropped the shoulder there. Muller a little bit out of position. Arnoldson flat on his feet on the 6-meter line. Already an opportunity for Berlin to extend their aggregate lead beyond 10 goals, which is what it stands at right now. Far from the perfect start for the home side. From their perspective, they'll have to do what they can to stay in this game and feel like the chance is going to come eventually. Meanwhile, Mihailo Marcinic stays down. There's an awkward tumble for him as he collided with Arnoldson. Got sent off last week early in the second half for 3 2-minute suspensions. See him there, just his leg moving a little bit awkwardly as he tumbled to the ground. Best up Tiger in from the right wing again. Gietzel from long range, showing off his long distance shooting here so far. 3 already for Gietzel. Managed 3 in the entirety of the first half before he let loose last week. Bjornsson responding immediately in kind, making up for his disallowed goal just a minute or so ago. Seems to be one of the keys here for Aalborg in this match. If they can break the space for the wings, the wings deliver, which we know they can. Could be a route for them, but on this side of the court, a few saves perhaps from Van Dien, the agenda. And there is one of them. Makes the stop against Gietzel. Oxer out of block. The near side here, cutting in. Oxer out to the line. Muller just out of reach for him. He did everything right until that final pass, and down the other end. It's a double save in quick succession. Nicholas Van Dien, our quiet opening 7 minutes, but he's come to life now. And there, an almost certain goal for a player of the level of Mihailo Marcinic at this time. 2 in a row after going 0 from 6. 7 minutes on lead. Will that get this Aalborg side going now? Ball out to the wing again. No space with Bjornsson. Arnoldson. Needing a bit of time to get up there, maybe slipping on the court, and that's what the referees think as well. See Mateo. His first season as coach took over. He's an interim coach originally, Mike Makala, after he was sacked just a couple of months in the job. This ball into the line, picked up by Muller this time, and he puts it away. Confident line playing from Felix Muller. Immediate response from Berlin. Their goal scoring here. The opening 9 minutes, so free-flowing. 7 in 9 for them. Berlin catching themselves out there a little bit. It's 2 against 1. Into the near post. Comes Lichtlein, taking on Muller. Gietzel off to Anderson. Well put away. Exactly when they wanted their simple crossing movements from the backcourt trio. Barely holding onto the ball there, Gietzel popping it up immediately for Lasse Anderson, targeting that part of the defense. Although Landin was in the right spot, there was too much juice on that shot. Comes Arneson, Blah, Oxer. Attacker foul called. Lichtlein coming across and just getting a little touch in. I'm not sure if that was the right call, to be honest. Seems like Lichtlein was coming in quite late and didn't have himself fully set. No, that is not an attacker foul, is it, folks? To be honest. Officer, a little bit hard done by there. Cutting inside, clean throw and goal. He was denied last time around, no denying him this time. He's off to an absolute flyer here, Matthias Gietzel. 4 goals already. Berlin's opening 9. To Muller, Felix Muller himself having a bit of a stormer. Being found time and time again. And that will have an impact on the Berlin defense. They're giving him just too much space. They're going to have to step back a little bit at that then in turn. Open things up to the backcourt. Allow the likes of Thomas Arneson and Hans Hoxer to let loose from long range. See, Alex Flack has been taken off. Lucas Nielsen into the action. Ball into the line and a hit off the top of the crossbar and out. Another miss on Marsenic. Flack, who is in the attack and taken off in defense only, it seems, at the moment. Nielsen coming in for the wing, and then Flack going out to that wing position, so trying to protect him a little bit. Interesting approach that Lucas Nielsen is being brought in as a defensive specialist. Probably not something expected. How he matches up. Against Anderson, ball out to the wing. Well saved, Freihofer denied by Nicholas Landin, who's beginning to rake up the saves now. Nielsen, Hoxer going through, and that's going to be a penalty. First penalty of the evening. It could be a 2-minute suspension as well. It is indeed Max Starry given his marching orders for the next 2 minutes. Well played by Nielsen, drawing the defense and take Dari out of position. Hoxer, realizing the situation, diving in and committing Dari to that foul. First suspension of the contest, the first penalty of the contest. It's been a real free-flowing opening 12 minutes. Buster Yule, his only action in the first leg was missing Aalborg's first penalty. Can he atone for that? He can indeed. He scores the first penalty and Aalborg are level on the ninth. Their work making a comeback and begin again. They're 8 goals down from the first leg, a 37-29 victory last Thursday. Berlin dealing with this quarterfinal very well so far, going through the motions, but also coming together some very nice attacking play. Anderson through again. Oh, despite the touch on it from Landin, can't keep Anderson out. Chance of the counter-attack. Bjornsson, nice pass in and shot wide to the left by Arnoldson. He checked his run there a little bit and just looked up to see what the keeper was doing, forced him into an awkward shot instead of just releasing it. Trying to spin it past Milosavljev. I think the keeper got a little touch on it. the empty switch is the line. Referee's not happy with what they're seeing on the line there. A little bit of argy-bargy between Simon Held and Lucas Herberger. He's into the attack now. A pair of missed shots by Mihajlo Marcelic. Same move again. Right back into the middle. That's the climb. Out to Gietzel. Doing well to deny his first option. Find a way through there, create the pass. He does indeed. Out to Anderson. Left him way too much space there. The overcommitment against Gietzel. It's a tricky thing to get away with. Gietzel weaving, bobbing his way around, getting that ball away with 3 defenders against him, opening up the court. But Lasse Anderson scored his 4th already. All out to the wing, Bartels. René Antonsen in his second line. 2-minute suspension just comes to an end as Arnoldson finds the back of the net. It's a much needed goal for him as well. Feel that he can find a way past Miloslav there from the long range. That's his first attempt. From distance at first goal. From long range again, but an attacker foul called against Lucas Herberger, so the goal scratched off. Gietzel very keen to take on those long range shots here so far this evening, and for the most part they're looking very good, as they are for Lucas Nielsen. First goal of the day for him. Anderson into the line. Dari finds a way past Lantin. Counter-attacking from both sides. Vicious and deadly, relentless. Nielsen. Pass to nobody. Doesn't really mean anything in the end. It's a free throw for him. Aalborg's attack improving steadily here, but they'll have to be worried about the defensive side of things. They're just not able to shut down Gietzel and Anderson this game so far. If any team, if any group of players know the danger these players possess intimately, it's the danger players on both sides. Doesn't make the challenge any easier. Sander Sorgensen in for the first time today. Lays it off to Nielsen. It's the ball slip out of his hands. A bit of help from Antonsen. Sorgensen again on the left-hand side here. Lucas Nielsen. Nielsen saves. Milosavljev, good stop. Stayed center in his goal. His trailing leg is making that save. Not enough accuracy. And a standing shot from the Swede. When it comes to the depth and options in the backcourt, we'll definitely have that. A bit more than that as well. I feel with Sorgensen coming in defense, that could help match up against Gietzel. He did a good job there alongside Mulgaard last week, but nothing they can do against this backcourt right now. Lasse Anderson again. Once he steps in that 9-meter line, there's absolutely no stopping him. Berlin up by 10 again on aggregate. Aalborg doing well to get themselves level. They have been able to take control of this game. Sorgensen drops his shoulder, lays it off nicely to Hoxer, and that's Dari. Another heavy challenge. Could there be another 2-minute suspension on the way? Dari playing with fire here at the moment. He'll get away with just giving a free throw this time. He's happy again. Hoxer back up on his feet. Tulsa on the wraparound. Sorgensen comes into the middle. Get a breakthrough. Hoxer goes instead and sends the keeper the wrong way. 1-goal game again. Counter-attack again. Gietzel. It's incredible how quick he is. How devastating for Aalborg, as Matthias Gietzel cancels out their goal within about 2 seconds. It's truly astonishing. There's the goal. Just look at how quick this counter-attack is. Fabian Vida in, laying it off to Gietzel. Oh, well, he may well have been halfway inside the opposition half, but too quick for the referees to notice. Augustin taking on Dari. Ball over the top, nicely played out to the wing. Plenty of space for the shot, and it's cut away with aplomb by Christian Björnsson. Nice pass. First place by Saugusson, cutting back across where the ball came from, creating that overlap. It's a good decisive play. Look at that, a bit of man marking now. Saugusson taking on Gietzel, trying to take him out of the game. That is an interesting little shift. Anderson gives the ball away and it pays off immediately. A turnover in defense for Aalborg. It feels like the first time they've had that go their way so far today. Ball out to Saugusson, who's denied. But is that inside defending? It is indeed. Saugusson gets away with it. Penalty given, that's a bit harsh. Max Dari inside the area. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was indeed. Although he didn't make contact, it's kind of the same rule as with the wing in that situation. Interfering with play, he was well inside the area. Buster Yule comes back in. Spun it past Milo Savliev the first time around. Once he got up his sleeve this side, he's got the exact same move. It works a charm. Aalborg level again. Savliev to make that little jump at that point. Perfect time to spin it past him. Yule 2 from 2 for the penalty line. Aalborg back to where they started. Level on the night. 8 goals down the night. Gietzel trying to get free. Does exactly that. A good block there by Vida. And it'll be a penalty down the other end. Saugusson, the shove on the back, trying to make up for being beaten. That was a great little piece of play. Fabian Vida stepping out with the block and Gietzel playing that into Dari. Saugusson bundling his way back to try and make up for it. Ends up taking Dari down. Taking the penalty away. Tim Freihofer take the penalty, misses first shot from open play. What can he do from the 7-meter line? He puts it away without a problem. His penalty taken last week was exceptional. Picks up where he left off. Beating Landin, all ends up. Referee waiting to make the call here, not happy. The fans, a little shove from Lucas Herberger, a little bit too high. Let's see exactly what happened there in the replay. Yeah, unnecessary shove after the ball was played by Lucas Herberger. I feel like that is the area that Aalborg are trying to target here, that centre block. All three players, Dari, Herberg and Marsenic, are prone to getting suspensions, are prone to giving away fouls. Back in for this man-up situation. 2 backcourt players, 2 line players, and another high challenge. Max Dari getting a 2-minute suspension for it. The referees, I thought were going to let him away with it. He says he caught him on the chest. Referees not impressed, and it was a bit of an innocuous challenge. Catch the player in the face all the same. It's around the neck, but Thomas Arnoldson still felt something. It felt like he was going to give the referees a decision to make, which they did. So 2-man advantage now for Aalborg. Hoxer out to the wing. put away nicely by Bjornsson. I always say in that 6-on-4 situation, it can be a little bit nervy for the wingers. So much expectation to score the goal. It's almost a crime if you don't, and more often than it should, it doesn't result in a goal. Now we're playing Giesel. He's going to make his way off here. The goalkeeper come back, and it doesn't really matter what's going on over on his side. Fabian Vida steps up to the goal on a 4 versus 5 attacking situation. Beating Nielsen way too easily there for Aalborg's liking. The wing again. La, Oxer, Bjornsson once more, and he's kept out this time. Well, there you have it, 6-on-4 in the attack. Bjornsson misses the chance. And that save for Milosavljev worth much more than just the save itself. Golden opportunity for Aalborg goes to waste. Festad Tiger on that ball almost away. Still 15 seconds left on one suspension, 25 left on the other. Berlin do to kill the time here. Another free throw should do it. Ball out to the wing instead, but the ball is turned over. And now Aalborg will try and push. Take advantage of the final seconds here on the suspension. One man will be back now. Will it matter? Oh, spin move, and just about put in by Thomas Arnoldsson. Looked like he almost overplayed his hand there and travelled. Controlled his body well, got that bounce away before he landed. Just about managed to stay outside the 6-meter area. Second goal for him. Aalborg level again. Now we find ourselves in a bit of a reverse situation to the first leg. Let's knock this line off. Lays it off to Vida. In the first leg, Berlin. Around this time we're coming back from their deficit and put themselves back into the game by half-time. And Aalborg do something similar here. Diesel wrapped up, good defending by Muller. Diesel not being man-marked at the moment. It's over in the centre, Fabian Vida. He wins the penalty, bit of a soft one for Arnoldsson to give away. And it looks like Arnoldsson got a smack to the face for his troubles as well. Fabian Vida catching him as he tried to find a way through. Hopefully he's okay. He's in the arms of Niklas Landin. Let's see from the replay in the reverse camera. He got an elbow there from Vida, yeah. Purely accidental, of course. Doesn't make it any less painful. So another penalty for Tim Freihofer. Landin stepping out and beaten. Landin, worth staying back in his line for one of those and trying his luck, because Freihofer from the penalty line against Aalborg last week and tonight has been exceptional. It's a timeout for Aalborg. A goal down on the night, 9 on aggregate.
Alex kom til midt. Jeg skal have Alex ud. Og så får jeg Halle. Selvom lige om nu kan han nok tilbage. Ellers så kan du bare til at dække. Han har også med. Han er på venstre for fløj, så har du ham. Han er på venstre for fløj, så har du ham. Giv det. Ja. Hey, og selvom lige den spiller med, er det stadigvæk langt over for Ville. Så er vi stadigvæk klar til at tage.
A very different game to the first half last week. Goals galore here. Berlin won't mind that as long as they're getting their fair share of goals, and they're doing exactly that. They've got the advantage on the night and on aggregate. And then at this point, they won't be looking at managing the lead as Jaren Sievert said they won't. The deeper they get into this game, a scoreline like this, the closer they're getting to the first EHF Final Four in 13 years. Turin in at right back, and his shot, a little bit of a soft one. Stepping into it straight away. Always looked like he wanted to get the shot away, but really the placement so easy for the keeper. Then Milosavljev will happily take those all night long. Sorgensen back to man marking Gietzel. Langhoff. Vida. Langhoff slipping there as he's caught in the arms of Simon Held in the defense. Vida. Gietzel back at Fabian Vida. So the freedom now in the center. Nice ball into the line, and the finish as well. Beautifully done. Marksman with the goal. Gietzel, beautiful assist. Sorgensen. Nice pass. Bjornsson. He puts it in that top left-hand corner. Consistently good from Christian Bjornsson. So heavily involved. This time coming in from the right wing. Found by Sorgensen. Popping it into that top corner. Just out of reach of the keeper. Exactly in a situation like this, Aalborg will be regretting how that second half went last week, where they completely capitulated. Berlin for Gietzel, his attacking brilliance, and Milosavljev's second half performance and goal tore them apart. But yeah, almost at the moment it seems an unassailable lead with them to Denmark. Attacker foul called against Marcenic. Oxer to Sorgensen. Can he come up with something here? He gets the shot away, but he is denied. A penalty given with a shove from Magnus Langhoff. It's not special, but Sorgensen doing what he can to create the situations for his teammates. And the assist last time around. Be another assist here if he can get the goal. Buster Yule this time against Lasse Ludwig. Sure, Ludwig will have paid attention to what Yule did the last two times. Fooled me twice. What fooled me three times, Buster Yule. And the Berlin goalkeepers. Oh, very different trick this time, but it works all the same. 3 from 3. That's cheeky, cheeky stuff from Buster Yule. So, Ludwig moved over to the side where the spin was taken last time. So Yule checking in, and a change in between the posts as well, paying dividends straight away for Aalborg. Save by Norsten. Chance for Aalborg to take the lead here on the scoreboard. On the night, and they do exactly that. 1 goal up on the night. 7 to go, they'll be thinking. Alex Fla finding a way through. It's been a frustrating evening so far for him as well, in a very high-scoring game. And now a timeout taken by Jaron Siebert at Berlin.
Lasse für Mattes, Kreisläufer hier hinter. Okay? Kreisläufer hier hinter, dann attackieren wir, okay? Wenn es nicht klappt, können wir nochmal dieses Außen hoch, Hakun, außen hoch, zurück, plus 5, hier mit dem Block, Matthias kommt, attackieren.
Wenn nicht, für ein bisschen Zeit haben wir auch diese 5. Du fängst an in die Mitte und läufst hier. Wenn er kommt hier, gehst du in die Mitte und ich gebe dir den Direktpass da.
Ja, Männer,
dann kriegen wir auch ein bisschen mehr Zeit.
Wir müssen sie seitlich attackieren, dann haben wir auch die Tiefenwirkung. Weiter, Boys, los!
All in all, not a disastrous situation for Berlin. They're being thrown a few new looks, but overall, on the attacking side, they're looking much better than they did in the first half last week. Milosavljev with a few saves as well. It might be the center block that's one of the main worries for Jaron Siebert. double man-marking job from Aalborg. Basically, Vestov Taigam, Freihofer, and Lasse Andersen is the only actual backcourt player, and he gives it away. Chance on the counter-attack now. Saugesen goes right down the centre, and all he can get is a free throw. Not enough support coming for him to lay the pass off to. I'm not even sure he had eyes on passing at that point. The double man-marking job from Aalborg, paying off there immediately. Good work from Lichtlein. Beats it, come across and make the save, or the block rather. Crowd rising to their feet. I feel this is a big chance for their side. Picking up a bit of a lead. Berlin back in at right back. Saugesen plays it out to him. La. Swings there momentarily on the line. Thompson. Ball out to Saugesen. Manages not to kick it. Hand up, pass and play now. Saugesen. Out to Turin. Saugesen looking for the shot here, trying to force his way through, but well defended. Arsenic getting across and ensuring that he gets nowhere near that 6-meter line. And Saugesen. That's the black wall of Berlin. Or will it be Turin? It is indeed. Blocked away, good stuff. Final touch coming in from Milosavljev. Strong defensive play from Berlin. Herberger got the first touch on that. Milosavljev made sure he stayed out. Oh, steal, beautifully done. And up for grabs, taken by Barthold. Oxer. Saugesen, can he do the right thing this time? He finds a way through, but it's saved again. Brilliant stuff by Milosavljev. How frustrating for Sander Saugesen. This time he found a way past the defense, but he couldn't beat the last line of it. A shot out of perfect height. And then Milosavljev to make the save. Another opportunity gone to waste for the home side. Hold on to possession. Saugesen really needs a goal here for himself. For his side, of course. Marie. Held on the line. Blah. Nice movement again. And inside the area. That's unfortunate for Christian Bjornsson. The ball just slipping out of his hands. He thought he did it legally as he patted the ball past the keeper. And with his wing left all alone. Freihofer controlling Berlin level. Olsen, Aalborg was a little bit late trying to make up for the fact that Bjornsson was on the other side of the court. Saugesen found space for himself and he gets the goal at last. Aalborg with their noses in front again. Sander Saugesen on the scoreboard, 20-19. Good finish as well. That'll be a sigh of relief for him internally, also from the Aalborg fans and team. They can trust him to try and get a few more tonight. Liga, back from Vestov Taigam. Keeps up. Andersen, all alone. Andersen not to be beaten in a situation like that, and a bit of a late challenge after the fact from Sander Saugesen. Catching Andersen quite high. Referees not interested. Catching him in the arm as the shot was taken. Here you have it, 20 goals apiece in this first half. It's a score that's conducive for a good comeback. Berlin not looking like they're slowing down in the attack. 20 goals themselves, 6 of those with Lasse Andersen. Oh, the wing's not home. That's unfortunate for Aalborg. Turin having a bit of a messy game since coming on. He assumed his winger was there, but he passed it to nobody. The lights were on, but nobody was home. Langhoff get through. It's going to be a 2-minute suspension here. I think it was Seaman Held holding on from behind. The referees rightly playing advantage to Berlin. Aalborg will finish this first half a man down. There was the pull on the jersey. Referees are happy to allow play to go on and see if Markus Langhoff could do anything. Perfect situation for Berlin to control things again. Pin the defense back. Sagerson to Nick Klein. Skip pass out to the right wing, no space for Vestal Tiger. Anderson goes again, Nick Klein. To the line perhaps, no, laying it off to Gietzel, runs into 2 defenders, and fends off the challenge. They were inside the area, and Berlin will have the lead at the end of the first half. Aalborg doing whatever they could in attack and in defense to get control of this contest, but Füchse Berlin managed this lead to perfection. They're not the ones who need to do anything special today. They need to keep the scoreboard ticking over, keep themselves in control of this contest. They've done exactly that for the opening 30 minutes. This game giving us just a little bit of a taste of what might happen if Aalborg get a run going in the second half. There's only one way to find out if they do that, and that's by sticking with us for the second half. We will take a look at some of the stats before we let you go before halftime. Most important stat, though, is that Füchse Berlin lead 21-20 on the night. They lead by 9 goals on aggregate, and looking well on their way towards booking a spot at the EHF Final Four for just the second time. The technical fouls, it's quite even there, 6 and 7. Berlin letting a few balls go to waste most recently, but their scoring efficiency has been brilliant. Aalborg have had the more opportunities in total, but have scored fewer goals. They haven't been able to take advantage of those suspensions, particularly when there was that double suspension for Berlin. Anderson and Gietzel leading the way in their home country as the away side, 6 goals apiece for them. Björnsson with 5 for Aalborg, doing a fine job. Felix Muller as well on the line. But they need more from the backcourt, Aalborg, and they need more from their goalkeepers. It's Milosavljev winning the goalkeeper battle so far with 7 saves to Landin's 4. That'll do it for the first half. Stick with us for the second half in about 10 minutes time.
is Dika Memi has scored. A huge moment there, double figures for Dika, and Barca up by 4.
On the far side, Boss is trying to isolate. Oh, what a shot! Martin Costa lets rip right up into the top corner.
Works it to the wing, in-flight pass, and a goal as well. Lazar Kukic celebrates.
Salvador looking for the line. Hokiando sees it dribble past him. Min is racing forwards. And hammers that into the back of the goal. 11-8.
Counter-attack. Mestizel again with a push, but it doesn't matter. He evades the challenge from Bartol, and he evades the goalkeeper with a scorching spin shot. And a save again, Milosavljev with 2 penalty stops in the second half. What an impact from the keepers.
This has certainly lived up to expectations. Great save, Corrales. Oh, lovely pass. Tourna, what a save again, Christiansen. And those are the chances they may live to regret. Passive play call now against Sporting. Small passes to get the shot away. Kiko Costa, beautifully done, but Biosca, save number 3.
In-flight pass, and it's saved.
Dream of being a champion. Dreams come true with determination. Rise with the door. Rise with the team. Rise to be a champion. Do it for them. And them. This is the Machine Seeker EHF Champions League. The best handball in Europe. Watch on official broadcasters at ehftv.com. Dream. Make it come true. Dare to rise.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our coverage of Aalborg versus Füchse Berlin. At the break, it's Füchse Berlin leading 21-20 and on aggregate leading 58-49. Yes, a 9-goal lead for them heading into the final 30 minutes of this match. Aalborg will be hoping to pull off something special, just like Berlin did in the second half last week, to turn this one around and book their spot in a second consecutive EHF Final Four. Berlin looking to make their second one ever, and the first time with this group of players. The last time Füchse Berlin went to Cologne for the EHF Final Four was way back in 2012. They've got a superstar team with Matthias Gietzel and Lasse Andersen leading the way, 6 goals apiece for them in the first half. And in goal, then Milosavljev winning that goalkeeper battle against Niklas Landin. A lot of opportunities gone to waste for the home side. You feel like they can ill afford to let go. See if they can improve on that in the second half. They have given Berlin a few different looks, particularly in the defense, man-marking Gietzel, and then at one point man-marking 2 players in the backcourt, trying to force some turnovers. Going all guns blazing, throwing the kitchen sink at the German side at the start of this second half to try and make some kind of dent in this 9-goal deficit. But it's Berlin who get us underway at the start of the second half. Chris O'Reilly with you for this one, and Gietzel straight away taking on a new defender in there in the centre. Henrik Mulgaard tasked with doing something against this Berlin side. Marinus Monk in there as well. Aalborg happy to keep rotating the bench here until they find the perfect solution. And a good save there early doors for Fabian Norsten. Exactly the start that Aalborg needed if this is going to be a special second half, adding to the list of miracle comebacks in the quarterfinal. We think of Berlin doing it themselves in 2012 against Ademar Leon, an 11-goal second leg win. PRV Kiel last season against Montpellier, winning by 10. Sorgensen into the attack. Off the flam, it's stolen by Fabian Vida. And he's got an empty net to shoot into. Almost lost control of it there. Great pick from Fabi Vida. And Berlin extend their lead further. The connection between Sorgensen and Flach is not quite coming off. It's been a trying partnership in this game so far. Let's see how long it continues. That's Hoxer in at right back again. Let's get the ball moving. And that's something that Berlin have done very well in this match so far. Held on really well, not allowing Aalborg to keep the ball moving after they go into contact. After the little collision of heads there between the 2 Swedish line players, seems like they're okay. They're back underway. Björnsson coming in from the right wing. He gets it from Sagerson, tries to get the shot away, but held up well by Fabian Vida. Managing to do so outside the 6-meter area, not giving a penalty away. And there is the first goal for Aalborg in the second half. Looking for the counter-attack straight away is Tim Freihofer, but he's held up well. It's only a free throw given away by Mats Hoxer. Sorgensen with the goal. If there was ever a time for him to light up and show the type of performances he did in his first spell here as a young lad. Just 3 seasons with the club, he became a Hall of Fame player. Well, it's now. The spin move past Sorgensen. Manages to evade Norsten in goal as well. Beautiful play by Gietzel. Sorgensen straight back down the other end, and he scores again. 2 in a row for him. He's feeling it now. It's the type of Sander Sorgensen in attack they need to see. This time not going into contact, just evading the reach. Marcenic. 3rd goal for him. Who seems to have the main task of taking on Gietzel. The defense, it's a brilliant play. Niels Wickline selling defense completely. Everyone expecting him to lay off the pass, then he just ghosted his way around, scored his third. Space with Bjornsson there. Monk lay it off and make his way off court. Fans still doing their best to get behind the side. It's a long way left in this game. Some magic to happen. Saugesen, ball doesn't find its intended target. It's a 3-on-1 counter-attack. Lichtlein again. Oh, beautiful save by Norstein. Denying Lichtlein on the counter-attack from close range. Flach looking for the ball out. Right-hand side. Bjornsson, tight enough angle, and it shows as he manages to get it past the keeper. The bottom of the post keeps that ball out. Both sides leaving some chances behind. This overall suits Berlin. Second save on the board for Norstein. Back to the wing, no space though for Gustav Teigem. Lichtlein into Marsenic. Well put away. Mihajlo Marsenic, who missed his first couple of chances in the match, has found his rhythm now in attack. 3-goal lead on the night. 11 on aggregate. Flach. Ball stolen, beautifully kept in play as well by Gietzel. Such composure and control on one leg, and that leg almost landing inside the 6-meter line. Gets the ball away, easy and casual as you like. Started this second half, well and truly gone German side's way. Gietzel gets it back from Lichtlein, taking on Mulgaard. Good defense there from Mulgaard, and a free throw called just as he got the ball in his hands. What could be his final Champions League game as a player? He'll go to Paris Saint-Germain next season as a assistant coach. A beautiful save there by Norstein to deny Gietzel close range. Had my eye on Mulgaard there. You can see he was in pain immediately after that tackle. Gietzel, brilliant stop by Norstein. Saugesen. In the second line again, and nicely blocked on the way through. It's Marsenic claiming that one. He celebrates with the bench. He denies Saugesen. From Aalborg's point of view, at this stage, so little time. Like chasing the 11 goals. Going to be not exactly the smartest thing mentally to do. More trying to break it down, 2 or 3 goal batches, and see if they can just make the opposition crumble, which at the moment doesn't look like happening, although Fabian Norstein doing a fine job of denying them. Goal again. Arnoldson in. Monk in the attack as well, lays it off beautifully, out to Bjornsson on the wing, a bit more space for him this time, and he puts it away. Like it, more like it from Aalborg. Committing the defense, creating that space on the overlap down the right-hand side. Hoxer happy to lay it off to the hot hand. Christian Bjornsson on the wing. 6 goals for him this evening. Anderson puts it back. Between the 2 games in the backcourt. Now at the Lichtlein, to the wing, beautifully played, Freihofer. He hasn't quite hit the heights of last week on the left wing, but it's a well-taken goal. Arnoldson. Nice pass, back out to Flach, to the wing, and Sebastian Bartol. Well, the wings continuing to deliver for Aalborg, and they're not giving up just yet. Playing with the intensity and the speed they need to keep make this a high-scoring game. It's a bit early yet for Berlin to try and slow the game down completely. That time will come, and for the most part, they are a very good side of controlling the play. Maybe not to the same extent as Magdeburg, who can really slow things down, and I feel like they'll be doing that at times tomorrow against Westerland as they try to get an away victory. At the very least, send it to penalties with a draw. Save by Norsen. He's having a stormer, isn't he, since coming in? Gietzel trying to catch everyone off guard with a sidearm shot. Arnoldson to Hoxer. It's out of space. They set up again. Coming in on the empty switch. See Norstead first with Landine. Arnoldson. That ball out to the right side. Defended again. Berlin definitely improved on that area from last week. They seem to be doing a very good job of luring the Aalborg backcourt players into positions that seem like it might open up for them. They're doubling up on the players then and just making it difficult for them, holding on, not allowing the ball to keep moving. Arnoldson this time going through himself, and again it happens. End up with 4 players squeezed into that tight area in the center of the court. Hoxer, Blah. To Hoxer again, to the wing. Bjornsson once more, and saved by Milosavljev. He's not winning that battle against the wingers, but all he needs to do is make a couple of saves, and it will be more than enough tonight. Reminder, this is game to decide the first team to qualify for the Turk Scout 24 Jeff Final Four this year. Ball in, but stolen back. Chance on the counter-attack, a rare counter-attack opportunity, and Bjornsson leaves it behind. Gietzel in defense again, coming up with a moment of magic, and here he is in the attack. Ball across the lick line, all alone. He scores. And Berlin up by 11 again. That really feels like a 2-goal turnaround in a matter of seconds. Bjornsson just gets a little bit of a shove from Gietzel, not enough to warrant a foul in the referee's eyes. Blah. Good player, will be playing his last Champions League game with the club. He's off to Kielce next season, it seems. Molgaard to PSG as an assistant coach. Stefan Madsen, the head coach, the man who led this team to the Final Four the previous 2 times. Seven on 6, the approach now from Aalborg. That one coming off the post, and an empty net to shoot into. Down the other end, and easy pickings in the end for there. Milosavljev. Aalborg just not reacting quickly enough. Almost in a state of shock there after that save, and goalkeeper nowhere near getting back. Milosavljev can take his sweet time. It's a little kiss and a hug there from his fellow Serb, Marlo Marsenic. Largest lead of the evening and of the entire tie for Berlin. And stolen again. Freihofer times his run beautifully. 2 empty net goals in a row. The 7 on 6 risk has backfired spectacularly, and Berlin will now start to think Cologne is on their horizon, and they can enjoy the final 16 or 17 minutes of this game. It's another timeout taken by Aalborg.
Munk har en tur sammen med Thomas og Hoxer. Skal bare have en forsvarsangreb. Vi spiller 6 mod 6. Felix er deroppe, og Hal kommer ind og dækker. Første tur. Nordsjælland venstre. Thomas, du kommer i midt. Vender den retur til Munk. Munk. Klar til at komme på der, Felix. Hele vejen ud under. Så vi kan spille den tynd over mod Christian. Klar på, at Lasse kommer og blitzer. Hold godt og god afstand derovre. Bold nummer 2. Nordsjælland med dobbelt kryds. Du starter på højre bak. Henter Hox. Hox henter Marie. Hey, kom on, boys! Kom on, boys! 1, 2, 3.
Hear the call there. Come on, boys. Sounds like Henrik Mulgaard trying to inspire this team to fight until the end at the very least. 7-on-6, no longer in action. Really did backfire completely for Aalborg. 13 goals down in difference now. Aggregate. Very, very little chance of turning it around. They can do. Try and turn this particular game around, get a win on the night. Good finish by Bjornsson, back on the scoreboard. This is the first of 4 games over the course of this evening and tomorrow. Later on this evening, 8:45 Central European time, we have Sporting against Nantes. They're Nantes holding the 1-goal lead with them, but Sporting with the home advantage. Something they've taken full advantage of many times this season. What has been a spectacular season for them. Slickline. Anderson. Giesel. Waiting for it on the far side. There's an overlap chance for Giesel. Cuts back in. Too much power on that shot. Whereas last week's Matthias Giesel was all about the breakthroughs and spin shots. This week's Giesel all about getting that foot on the 9-meter line, banging the ball past the keeper. He can do it all. He's got 8 so far this evening. Tomorrow evening we got Vesprem against Magdeburg. All level there. Game feels like it's going to go right down to the wire. 26 all after the first leg. Vesprem with the home advantage. And then finally Barca against Szeged. Barca turning around. 3-goal deficit in the second half rather, to win by 3, 27-24. Szeged would be hoping for a repeat of what they did in the playoff round. Massive away win against PSG. It'll be a tougher task against Barca, no doubt, tomorrow evening, but the chance definitely still there. That's the counter-attack now. Arnoldson. What the hell? No space for him. Making his way off, and it does feel like Aalborg is a little bit disjointed here. Trying to find a way to get a bit of inspiration back into their game. 15 minutes left to play. Arnoldson, well saved by Milosavljev. He's definitely in that flow now. There, Milosavljev, where it feels like he's not even really moving in goal, just in the right place at the right time, reading the ball so well. Fortunate touch, sent it past Milosavljev. Goal for Arnoldson. It is fascinating looking at the saving percentages, saving rates. Landin and Norstedt combining for 9 saves. Milosavljev with 10, so very little to choose between them in that regard. There's been so many wasted opportunities from this Aalborg side over the course of the game. Back as well too. Man-up situations, at one point playing 6-on-4 where they missed an opportunity. Anderson, a little bit of fortune there. He adds to his tally. Yet to miss a shot so far. That's Anderson. 7 you can see there as Thomas Arnoldson strikes back immediately. Going for a different look at defense. 5-1 defense now, focus on Lichtlein. Big challenge there from Arneson, running off the blind side and catching Lichtlein. Caught him off guard there, but thankfully looks like Lichtlein is okay. And with that, it's a timeout for Füchse Berlin. Jaren Sievert is looking to fix a few things, but Berlin well on their way to Cologne as things stand.
Mattes kommt für Lasse. Mattes kommt für Lasse, okay? Ja. Wir starten nochmal hier im Auftakt. Hier nochmal im Auftakt, okay? Überlaufen, Tiefe, er hilft früh, genügend Abstand. Hier die Sperre, Max, okay? Überlaufen, lange breit bleiben, okay? Wenn nichts geht, Freiwurf nehmen. Wir attackieren hier, Kreisläufer zieht ganz breit weg. Wir attackieren hier zur Hand mit Matthias und dann spät zur Kreuzung. Okay?
Fängst du mit Tippen erst, oder nicht? Zurück was.
Los!
Simple stuff in the timeout there from Jaren Sievert, just setting up the next attack. That's all they have to do here. Play it, attack and defense after attack and defense. Ensure they keep their noses in front here. It's exactly what Coach Sievert said in the build-up to the game. We're playing not to manage a lead, but to win. They've done that start to finish today, despite massive lead. Big dogs out there, like Matthias Gietzel. There's Lichtlein, still trying to play till the very end. It's a change up in the backcourt. Anderson is off, Mattis Langhoff is in at left back. Nice ball back across, beautifully done. Exactly what the coach ordered. Lichtlein with the goal. And every player who does anything at the moment is getting a big old hug from Marcinic. Ball turned over, counter-attack chance now. Vida across to Max Dari. And was that kept out? Beautifully done by Norstad. He's not giving up by any means. He's the outstanding performer in this second half from Aalborg's perspective. Oh, what a save that is. Milosavljev denying Monk. He threw everything into that shot, but still couldn't find a way through. Ball out to the wing. And Freihofer cuts it away. That's up the pitch gingerly. It's not something Berlin will want to see. They've been well and truly running out of wing players this season, and Freihofer, the only experienced pro left in the position, is fit. Perhaps there's going to be a change there. I think that has woken up Jaren Sievert. There'll be a change with young Jan Gruner coming in on the left wing shortly. At this stage, Berlin can't afford to rotate the bench completely. Bring in the likes of Mats Beneke or Leo Prater. Fabian Vida playing in the attack as well, which he has done for a fair amount. Taking the hell of the goal. Way back slowly but surely. Ball thrown away to Bjornsson, a free throw given to Max Dari. Tim Freihofer make his way off. Big moment for Jan Gruner coming in for a Champions League quarter-final. Aalborg, who've done the most of the rotation, say I've got the more balanced squad when it comes to man 1 to 16, but when it comes to the very best players, there's no doubt over the course of this 120 minutes that it's been the likes of Matthias Gietzel, Lasse Andersson, and Milosavljev have made all the difference. Arnoldson with another goal. Two sides just trading them at the moment. Back out to the left wing, next line. Spin move. Oh, nicely done. Oh, so good. the flow, the control, the interaction between these Berlin players. Such trust and confidence between them. It all ends up with a goal in the ring for Håkon Vestap Taigum. Is going to be the second Faroese player in 2 years to reach the Fugskar 24 EHF Final Four. It was Elias Ellefsen, Manchester last season with Kiel. They finished in 3rd place. Vestap Taigum really established himself as the #1 right wing for this Berlin side in the quarterfinals. He's played really, really well. Started the season as the second choice behind Elias Reichmann, but mid-season Reichmann to step away from playing with the team. He has been seen in the meantime. If he will make a comeback, perhaps for something like the Final Four. They reacted to that by bringing Leo Prantner in, the Italian right wing, who was one of the stars, the breakout stars of the World Championship in January. Prantner is now getting his chance, #6 in the right wing. How amazing is it in this modern era of handball to be heading into a Final Four where we're going to have one team playing with an Italian and a Faroese player on the wing. Truly astonishing. It's lovely to see. And I think we now can safely say that it's going to be Berlin booking their spot in Cologne. 6 goals ahead on the night, 14 goals ahead on aggregate. True domination on the scoreboard. Bartol now denied. And domination and goal from Dejan Milosavljev. I think he may well be coming off for the final minutes as well. He'll get a chance to enjoy the fruits of his labor. But that is a true privilege for this Berlin side in these final minutes to be able to bring the big men off. Now Gietzel has also made way, his job done for today. Max Benecke coming in at right back. Sit back, enjoy what they've done here. In fact, in their first season back in the top flight of Europe's club handball. They're going straight through to the Final Four. Brilliant achievement from this side. Still on the charge in the Bundesliga as well. Joint top of the Bundesliga table. Side Nelsungen, who have a final event of their own to look forward to. The EHF finals in Hamburg. German-dominated competition, that is. They beat Vidasoa Iran yesterday to secure their spot. Final weekend in Hamburg, they'll be taking on Flensburg in the semi-final. The other semi-final will be a repeat of that memorable quarter-final in the Champions League last season between Kiel and Montpellier. Lasse Ludwig, as expected, has now come on. It's a completely changed side now. Nobody who started the game for Berlin is on the court, and they've heard that right. Benecke, save by Norstein. Rebound up for grabs. Well taken by Simon Held. Nielsen takes it over the halfway line. For Aalborg, it's all about playing for a bit of pride now. They gave it the roll. They left too many chances on the sideline. Too many chances in front of goal, in the hands. Dejan Milosavljev over the course of this match, and of course in the first leg as well. Nielsen, good finish from him. Nielsen definitely had a rejuvenation in his career since returning. Last couple of seasons with Aalborg have been a major boost in his profile. It's good to see him still able to contribute at this level. He certainly can. Aalborg the battle for the Danish league themselves in the midst of the playoff round now. Still a long way to go for them. Playing the Danish title. Might come back stronger again next season. They've become a consistently strong side in Europe now. 2 Final Four appearances, 2 quarterfinal appearances in the last 5 seasons. But here, just come up against the better side. Towards the 2 legs. Getting his goal there, one of the homegrown talents for Aalborg. Also a learning experience for Simon Dale. Both he and Jaron Sievert, one of the youngest coaches in the competition. Simon Dale just 33 years of age, and as I mentioned in the first half, came in as an interim coach after Mike Makula was sacked. He was the assistant and then thrust into the spotlight. Did such a good job that he gets the head position now. He will have a full season to work with them.
Kreisläufer hier, spielt dahin, läuft dahin weg, du attackierst ihn, okay? Zur Hand, Mattes, spät zur Kreuzung kommen, okay? Du kommst aber zur Kreuzung, okay? Fabi, drück ihn hier rein, spät zur Kreuzung. Männer, ich möchte dieses Spiel trotzdem gewinnen. Ja? Abwehr, Rückzug, Tempo nach vorne, vorne im Angriff. Fabi, du mehr über die Mitte, okay? Mattes zur Kreuzung reinholen, weiterspielen, ja? 5a plus 6, okay, können wir mal einstreuen, okay? Aber Kreisläufer breit, 1 gegen 1 weiterspielen. Los!
I mentioned it a couple of times already, but Jaron Sievert reminding his team and reminding us there as well in the timeout, I still want to win this game. I want to be a statement victory here for Berlin, winning both legs against the side in Aalborg who have yet to lose a game at home in the quarterfinal. Real danger of that happening here, for what it's worth at this point. Shot tipped away by Norstedt. 3 goals between the sides. Nielsen. Back in the centre front now. It's interesting to see these 2 largely changed sides now. Still a lot of motivation among the players, and good to see them battle away. Mentioning Simon Dale will have a full season to work, full pre-season to work here in Aalborg over the summer. May well have an impact as well on how the team develops. Also the players that are coming in. It's going to be a bit of a generation shift. See the likes of Sebastian Bartels, Henrik Molgaard, Alex Flach, all leaving, as is Jack Doreen and Miguel Martins. They'll be bringing in Alexander Blotz on the left wing. Yuri Knorr, very exciting and as a playmaker. It'll be fantastic to see him in the Champions League. German superstar. 2-minute suspension, give it to Lucas Nielsen there. And also Patrick Helland, right back from Elverum. Very exciting right back, and formed one hell of a partnership in the field with Mads Hoxer. They'll also give a chance Sander Salgerson to settle into the team fully. Player who did join in mid-season, of course. Has been filling in wherever he's needed. At times we've seen he definitely has the brilliance still to make things happen at this level. Suspension given to Lucas Herberger. Both men, both teams are under a man short. For the next minute and a half and 2 minutes, respectively. Second suspension of the day for Lucas Herberger. He's another player who, in the first leg, really stepped up for the team when they were struggling in that first half, and the likes of Giesel were not being given the space to breathe. He was able to come up with some big plays at both ends of the court to help make things happen. Shot fired in, another one for Christian Bjornsson. He and Bartold have done pretty much everything they could have today. No real complaints from the wingers. this performance. Björnsson, 8 goals, top scorer today for Aalborg. Next best for them is Thomas Arnoldson, 5. Top scorer, despite him not playing the last few minutes here, Matthias Gietzel, 9 goals and 2 assists. That's 20 goals for him over the course of the 2 legs. Truly astonishing. As Leo Prattner gets himself on the scoreboard. Prattner himself, very, very interesting story. With second division side, Halligen Ballstedt, who remember got to the German Cup final a few weeks ago. He was out injured for the entirety of last year with ACL surgery. Just came back in time to play for the Italian national team, the World Championship. Had an absolute stormer. He was magnificent. Earned himself a move to Berlin, safe to say, and he's belonging at this level. And Italy are going to have someone in Cologne, which is going to be a huge story as well. A burgeoning handball nation. Have representation at that level is fantastic, and I'm sure there'll be a bunch of Italians making the pilgrimage over to Lanxess Arena to enjoy him in action. Fabi Vida wins the ball. Beneke. Vida, the most experienced of the players here, playing his role. He's come in on a number of occasions in this match and over the course of the 2 legs for Berlin. Very much an impact player, a role player now, but he does it so well. Looks like Berlin are going to do exactly as Jaren Sievert asked them to do to win this match. There's a minute left to play. Berlin not only on the verge of booking a spot in Cologne, but also getting a victory with 40 goals away from home, which is truly astonishing if they pull it off. Either way, it's been an astonishing quarter-final tie for them. One of the most difficult ties to call over the course of 2 legs before it happened. Looking back in hindsight, you see the quality of Gietzel, Anderson. Saplev were just too hot to handle. And Brunner getting himself on the scoreboard as well. All smiles as the young left winger snuck in on the line. The final attack here of this contest will go to Aalborg. Look at that, the 2 Danish superstars arm in arm. They were villains heading into this game as the away side, as the enemy, but I'm pretty sure everyone in Aalborg and in Danish handball will have full appreciation for what they and Füchse Berlin have done over the course of these 120 minutes. They win this match an incredible 40-36, and on aggregate they've demolished Aalborg 77-65. Absolutely no doubt about it over the course of the game who the better side was, and the first team to book their spot at the Truck Scout 24 EHF Final Four 2025 is Füchse Berlin. They're back in the big time after 13 years away, making their way back to Cologne's Lanxess Arena. They'll be sitting back and enjoying what happens over the course of tonight and tomorrow evening to see who they'll be facing. Remember the draw for the EHF Final Four taking place on Friday morning. The event itself taking place in mid-June. Still a lot of heavy work for this Berlin side to do in domestic action, trying to get themselves a first domestic league title. Could be the start of a majestic double for them. Berlin, your victors this evening, your victors over the course of 2 legs. I hope you enjoyed it. We will welcome Füchse Berlin back to Cologne in mid-June. Beautiful stuff. Celebrations all around. It's a tough pill to swallow for Aalborg, who are used to more quarterfinal success than failure over the last 4 years. They know that they'll come back stronger again next season and give it another good go. 3 more quarterfinals to look forward to over the course of this week. Later on this evening, in fact, in about 25 minutes' time, you definitely have to watch Sporting against Nantes. Then tomorrow evening, Westbrand versus Magdeburg and Barca versus Sega. But from this contest and the successful Fuchs Berlin side, that'll do it for our coverage of this game. For myself, Chris O'Reilly, and the entire team here at EFN TV, it's goodbye.
Gustav Juhl, after the first match in Berlin, you had a mountain to climb. We didn't make it and turn it around. What was the difference between the two teams?
Yeah, there's a huge difference between the two teams. Berlin played much better than us. Despite the first 20 minutes in the first game, otherwise we got absolutely smacked in Berlin the last 40 minutes and this game also. Yeah.
Now that you're out of the Champions League, this must mean that all the focus is on retaining the Danish title.
Ja, det er det 100%, men lige nu der skal man lige hjem og lige sove et par nætter før den her dag ude. Jeg føler, det med at blive ramt på stoltheden, den synes jeg, den bider mest i dag over ikke at komme til Køln. Det er voldsomt skuffende, hvordan at jeg egentlig måske sådan, altså bevidstheden omkring, hvor vi niveaumæssigt er på de allerstørste kampe, fordi at med det niveau her, der vinder vi heller ikke Danmarksmesterskabet.
Matthias Gissel, you did all the hard work in the first leg and you managed to eliminate a strong Aalborg team. What made the difference over the two matches?
Yeah, of course, I think the first leg says everything. We came here with 8 goal difference, means of course a lot. But I also think we played really well today. We controlled the whole game. Aalborg tried a lot of things, especially in the end of the first half, to go a little bit more offensive. But we managed to keep the lead, and of course, in the end, the time was for our advantage, and we just keep in front. So, I'm really, really proud that we are now qualified for the Final Four.
Aalborg-Berlin has never won the Champions League, and you're now ready for the semi-finals. Is this going to be your year?
Das hoffe ich. Ich finde, wir haben gezeigt diesen Jahr, wie gut eine Mannschaft wir sind. Viele reden nicht uns als Favoriten, aber jetzt sehen wir hier in die Final Four in Köln. Wir freuen riesen, so wir können das anbieten für unsere Zuschauer, für unsere Fans, für die Hauptstadt Berlin, dass wir jetzt sind da. Und jetzt müssen wir natürlich gucken und versuchen alles zu investieren in diesen Final Four Wochenende und klauen die Sieg. Aber ich bin extrem stolz auf diese Entwicklung, wir hatten gehabt die letzten 3 Jahre und jetzt stehen wir auf die höchste Niveau in Europa und among die letzten 4 Mannschaften.